ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمد عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إخوة الإيمان السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us another opportunity to be here today for another Salatul Jumu'ah. Today being the 21st day of the month of Rajab, year 1445 after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to the 2nd of February, year 2023. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has gathered us here accept this as an act of ibadah. As we promised earlier, Biqudratillahi ta'ala, our discussion we center on what is At-Tolaq, Wakayfiyatia Fil-Islam, divorce as a last resort and the procedures in Islam. In the contemporary society that we found ourselves today, majority see divorce as a taboo, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself mentioned in the Holy Qur'an. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give room for divorce, he wouldn't have mentioned it in the Holy Qur'an. But it has to be the last resort after we might have gone through some processes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Al-Baqarah, Quran chapter 2, verse 229, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الطلاق مرتان فإمساك بمعروف أو تسريح بإحسان ولا يحل لكم أن تأخذوا مما آتيتموهن شيئا إلا أن يخافا ألا يقيما حدود الله فإن خفتم ألا يقيما حدود الله فلا جناح عليهما فيما افتدت به تلك حدود الله فلا تعتدوها ومن يتعد حدود الله فأولئك هم الظالمون. Allah mentioned again in Surah Al-Baqarah, Quran chapter 2, that verse 236. لا جناح عليكم إن طلقتم النساء من لم تمسوهن وتفرضوا لهن فريضة ومتعوهن على المسيء قدره وعلى المقتر قدره متاعا بالمعروف حقا على المحسنين. Allah mentioned again in chapter 65, Surah At-Tolaq, verse 1, يا أيها النبي إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وآتوا العدة واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وتلك حدود الله وما يتعدى حدود الله وقد ظلم نفسه لا تدري لعل الله يحدث بعد ذلك أمرا. صدق الله العظيم. These are some verses of the Holy Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had mentioned to us concerning divorce in Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, At-Tolaq marratani, that divorce is being given two opportunities. If you divorce your wife the first time, you still have another opportunity the second time. The third time after divorcing her, you don't have any other opportunity again other than for her to go and marry outside. Until when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do on her and the new husband she has married before you have opportunity of marrying her again. So you only have opportunity of divorcing your wife twice for you to take her back. The third time, you can't take her back again. So that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here, that At-Tolaq marratan. You have only two opportunities, that I am not marrying you again. You are no more my wife. After that first pronunciation, she will observe her iddah, her waiting period. When it completes, which we are going to explain, what is the waiting period? Iddatul wafat, or iddatul tolaq. The waiting period for a Muslim woman, for Muslim women, is just two. The iddatul tolaq, the waiting period after disengagement from her husband. Then the second waiting period is the one that after a woman might have lost her husband during the mourning period. And that one is specifically designed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the number of days. That one cannot be altered. But that of the waiting period for a divorcee can be altered, because it's not peculiar to number of days that are attached to the one for the woman that her husband died, which we are going to discuss inshallah. So if you peradventure mention to your wife that I'm not more interested in you for the first time, she will observe a waiting period, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned to us, the salasatu kuru'i, 3 circles. And what are the circles? We are going to talk about them. Not 3 months. After that, you reconcile, you marry her again. She now misdid, or you too, you do what you don't want to do unconsciously, that you now pronounce to her that I'm not marrying you again for the second time. She still have opportunity of retaining in your house after observing her what? Her waiting period for the second time. But along the line, a misunderstanding now erupted again. You now pronounce again that I'm not marrying you again. You are no more my wife for the third time. She has to go out. You don't have that liberty again. You don't have that opportunity again. You don't have that privilege again. After a waiting period for the third time, she has to leave your house. She has to go and marry another person, which you must not know about their relationship, until either she is being engaged in the other person's house or death now separated them. That is when you now have opportunity of marrying her. And if you are going to marry her again, you have to marry her as a fresh woman again, that you have to pay another man. So a man has opportunity of telling his wife that I'm not marrying you again, just twice. The third time she has to go away from him. And in Islam, we have what we call sunnah, and we have what we call bid'ah. There are sunnatic parts of divorce, and there are innovative part of divorce, which we are going to discuss about. Allah said, At-Tolaq marratan. You have opportunity of divorcing your wife twice. And after you might have divorced them, finished, فَإِنْسَاكُمْ بِمَعْرُوفٍ. It's better for you to hold on with them, that I will be doing good with you. أَوْ تَسْرِيهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ. Or you release them if you know you can't continue with the relationship. You release them. But if you know you can bear the pains or being patient, it's better, because there is no action without any negative consequence. The children will suffer as soon as the parents are separated. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that فَإِنْسَاكُمْ بِمَعْرُوفٍ. It's better for you to be patient with each other, even after you might have pronounced the statement of what? Of the divorce, so that the children will not be suffer. أَوْ تَسْرِيهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ. And even at the end of the day, if reconciliation did not bring you back, it's better you separate. You get separated with peace. Allah continues to be saying, وَلَا يَحِلُّ لَكُمْ. It's not befitting to you أَن تَأْخُذُوا مِمَّا آتَيْتُمُوهُنَّ شَيْئًا, for you to collect back whatever you might have given your wife as a gift, after you have separated, you now say, the house I built for you in your name, I want to collect my house back. That house is not equivalent to the only one night that she rescued you. That house is not equivalent to the honor she has added to your life, that they are now calling you Baba Yembiu. That house or that hajj or that car that you have given her as a gift, it should not be equivalent to the honor she has brought to you in the society, that people are now calling you Mubarak again. They are calling you the father of Zuhaira. It is an honor. She has added value to your life. Allah said, whatever you might have given them, don't collect it back, don't retrieve it back. Wala yahillu lakum. It's not honorable as a man and takhudhu mimma ataytumuhunna shay'an, and retrieve back from them whatever you might have given them. What you have given them, are you the one that gave them all? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah will not come down. Definitely Allah will use somebody as an instrument. Illa, with exceptional clause, Allah yakhafa, Allah yukima hudud Allah. That the only exception that you have for you to have retrieved whatever you have given her is if you are in a fearful state that as she is going now, she will go beyond the boundary of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe she will cross the deen of Islam to another religion. And what you have given her will be beneficial to that society. Maybe part of the reason why you say you are no more interested in her, maybe she is going to church, maybe she is going to shrine, maybe she is visiting herbalists. Conditional issues that are vital are the only points that can make you to ask for what you have given her, and not even your mahar, because the mahar you have given her, the dowry you have given her, had already expired since the day you have entered her. So even if you are disengaging her, you can't ask for your what? The mahar, the dowry that you paid, the sadaqah that you paid, you can't ask for it. Because all the services she has been ready for you in the midnight, in the day, anytime you call her, she's always at your service. What do you want to repay back her with that? So the opportunity you have as a man to be able to open the locked gate of your woman is that sadaqah that you have paid. So if you are withdrawing or you are retrieving every other physical property, you can't retrieve that one. I hope you are getting it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, except if you know whatever you have given her, whatever you have given her as a gift, if she is going to be using it unjustly outside the principle of Al-Islam, that is the condition that can make you to ask for them. But if not that, give them and let them go. Allah now continue to say, for any gift, the arbitrators that you might have called around, because before we reach the level of finalizing divorce, there are so many parameters that must be put in place, which we are going to explain. Allah is now referring to those that might come around, that will be looking for sulh between you people, to reconcile you people. For any gift, maybe the judges or arbitrators that are sensible, Allah yukima hudud Allah. Brothers, let me tell us something. Anybody that is not married, you can't discuss your marital life with that person, because it doesn't have any value that is going to add to you. Because he has never managed a woman, not talk of managing one child. So what advice did he want to give you that you have 2-3 children? Is it very easy for him not to have gotten married? The experience you have had, he doesn't have it. So how are you expecting him to come and advise you? So whoever wants to bring on board as arbitrators, those that will come and discuss the issue of our marital life to bring reconciliation between we and our wives, must be somebody who is an experienced person. Allah also said it. Find iftun, Allah yukima hudud Allah. Those that you have called that they should come and reconcile you people. If they discover that this woman that you are discharging, this woman that you are disengaging, this woman that you are divorcing, whatever you want to live with her, she's going to use it against what Al-Islam has gone against. Then that is when you can retrieve all those items. But if that fear is not there, فَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْهِمَا فِيمَا افْتَدَتْ بِهِ. Allah said there is no wrongdoing in you leaving what you have what you are giving them as a gift. No wrongdoing in leaving it for them. If you disengage a woman, you need to give her a gift. The ayah to Qur'an that said it is in Surah Al-Azab. We are going to bring it. Allah said, "Tilka hududullah." These are the boundary limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَلَا تَعْتَدُوهَا. None of you should cross it. وَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ. Whoever cross the boundary limit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because the boundary limit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a red zone. So whoever crosses it, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. They are the wrongdoers. Uncountable number of them, they are what? Wrongdoers. Allah talked about them in this particular ayah. Allah mentioned again in this same Surah Al-Baqarah that La junaha alaykum, you are not going to commit any offense. In talaqtumun nisa, to divorce a woman, man lam tamassuhunna, the woman that you have not touched, aw tafridu lahunna faridatan, or you have not given her a mahar. In some places, or let me cite an instance, in the northern part of Nigeria, the way they used to do, culturally or traditionally, they can keep a young girl for you and tell you that this is the lady you are going to marry when she grows up or when she grew up. Na samu na kamu, ko ai maka kamu, yanda aka yi ma wayansu, ai maka kamu, right? They will get for you and they say this is what you are going to marry. It might be within the family circle or within the neighborhood. They used to practice it, which I know. So now, the girl now mature, she became a lady, ready to marry. The both parents, they've been discussing that yes, Mubarak will marry Zuera, Zuera will marry Mubarak. And the sadaq, the mahar, the dowry. If all these are completed, the sadaqi is done. But there are some instances that is only consent that has been given and the marriage is valid. Even without paying the what? The mahar. We have some Sahaba of Nabiyina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that they married legally and they didn't have anything to give to their wife. And the marriage was blessed. The consummation was blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, La junaha alaykum. You won't do any wrongdoing. You won't commit any offense in sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In talaqtumun nisa, if you divorce a woman, man lam tamassuhunna, the woman you have not touched. Yes. You have been told that this is the lady you are going to marry by your tradition and you gave consent to it. She also gave consent by accepting you. Right? But you have not touched her. That consent of both of you and that of your parent and maybe the wali, even the wali is not there. As far as the person that is legally and lawfully has the authority to give out his daughter out in marriage is the what? Is the father. Anybody that marry a lady from her mother's hand or through the consent of her mother alone without the father, that marriage will not be blessed. That marriage is not a blessed marriage. Fanikahuwa batil min asliya. From the inception, the marriage is null and void. Even if they, at the end of the day, they are able to produce 10 children. The asl, the origin, the initiation, the inception of that marriage, فَهُوَ بَاطِلٌ وَكُلُّ شَيْءٍ يَرْجِعُ إِلَىٰ أَصْلِهِ, and everything is going to go back to what? To its origin. If we die now, where are we going back to? We are going back to Allah through the mother earth. Where did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us from? Is it not from the mother earth? So everything, كُلُّ شَيْءٍ يَرْجِعُ إِلَىٰ أَصْلِهِ, everything will go back to its origin. So whoever marries a woman from her mother's hand alone without the consent of the father, the marriage will not be blessed. So any one of us or anybody that must have done that, you are hearing it now, it's better you go and look for the father of the wife you have married, even if it's in his grave. You go and ask him, Baba, I have plea. I've married your daughter, but I didn't follow the instruction as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had instructed us. I was carried away because of the atampada I was buying for my wife, my mother-in-law. Because you know the father doesn't want your consent. Who doesn't want to give you his daughter. Then you went behind, you and the mother-in-law, you perform a kangaroo marriage, and you do the marriage will not be blessed. Even if you are given beautiful children, your wife gave birth to beautiful children for you, at the end of the day you cry on those children.
The father.
La junaha alaykum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you have not done any wrongdoing. In talaqtumun nisa, if you divorce women, man lam tamassuhunna aw tafridu lahunna faridatan, those that you have never touched, or those that you have not done what? You have not given them the sadaqi, the mahar, the dowry. But the consent has been what? Has been given, indicating that you have gotten married, but you don't have money to what? To pay the dowry. And you have not touched her. But the consent has been given. Everybody knows that Zuhaira is now the wife of Mubarak. But he has not touched her. He has not entered a single room with her. Because if you enter, you and her alone, you are in seclusion. She will open her hair. She can open her body. If you have seen that one, your marriage or whatever is gone. And you have not even touched her. But you are in seclusion with her. The Malam of Usul al-Fiqh told us that just like that alone, that you are in the same room with her, she opened her hair, she removed her clothes without even you touching her. What you are not supposed to see, you have seen it. So the mahar, let's assume you pay mahar, that mahar is gone, even if you have not touched her. But now, this one, you did not even enter any room with her. Maybe as you are here, where you are working here, and they marry somebody, they engage somebody for you in Zamfara, in Kogi State. They got somebody for you. And you have not touched her, but the consent is there. You can divorce her. And if you divorce her now, is she going to observe the waiting period? These are all the questions we are going to be answering. You didn't touch her. You have not paid for the what? For the mahar. But she has become your wife. If you not say I'm divorcing you, will she observe her At-Tolaq? We are going to come there. Allah continues saying, وَمَتِعُنَّ عَلَى الْمُوسِعِ قَدَرُهُ وَعَلَى الْمُقْتِرِ قَدَرُهُ مَتَاعًا بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. If you are disengaging them, it is good for you. Whatever you want to give them with happiness, because what you have, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that gave you to. Haqqan ala al-muhsinin. This is what is ordained and what is obligated on all those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been merciful upon. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not keep quiet there alone. Let's go to Surah At-Tolaq. Just because to establish that in Islam, we can what? We can disengage with our wife if the love has expired. And conditions that will lead to that, I'm going to mention them. So, in any marriage, if anybody is telling you that Tolaq is forbidden, is haram, that person doesn't know what the person is saying. Or either a tradition, or either a constituted law. If they say no, you can't divorce your wife, they don't know what they are doing. They are not using the scripture of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we Muslims, we have to do what? We have to follow the Quran and the Sunnah of Nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And what is going to be our guide and our murshid is the Quran al-Karim. And every other scriptures that came before the Quran have told us, every one of them, they are inside Quran, which every one of us should remember. The Tawrat, the Injil, the Zabur, all of them, they are inside Quran, because Quran huwa ummul kitab. So if you now say we are not going to follow this, which other scripture do you want to follow? So in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after mentioning some of these verses of divorce in some chapters of the Holy Quran, he now revealed a whole chapter called Surah At-Tolaq, Quran chapter 65. Starting from verse 1, Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ya ayyuhan nabiyyu, oh you Prophet Muhammad. Allah is even referring to him like that. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to talk to Nabiyina Muhammad, he doesn't call him by name directly. Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad. Allah doesn't call him like that. Allah used to use an adjective. Ya ayyuhar rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayk. Who is Allah referring to? Allah will always honor Nabiyina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why we should always be honoring our malams, those that are responsible among them. Because there are some malams that are calling themselves malams. If you even see them, you're supposed to slap them or flog them in market, inside market, because they didn't watch what they proclaim to be. They are disgracing the Quran, they are disgracing the Hadith, and they are disgracing the Islam itself. But the honorable ones that preserve themselves, that you in front of them, Shima'un, fi wujuhihim min athari sujud. You see the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of the radiance of Al-Quran that is in there. We need to honor them. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is honoring Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why are we not going to honor him and honor? But if we are honoring him, doesn't mean that we should not be shouting in the name of honoring Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to call other prophets, you call them. Why is Kunalil Malaika to Ijudulia Dama? He called Adam by name direct. Why is called Musa the Komi? He called Musa by name. He called Yusuf by name. He called Nuh by name. But Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, lam yunadihi bi ismihi mujarrada. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never called him by his name direct. Allah used to honor him. The only place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Muhammad in the Quran was when he wants to refer to him that he was not any of us. We are not his children. None of us is a son of Nabiyina Muhammad. When they were calling Usama Zayd ibn Aris, Allah now referred to him and now said, Wama Muhammadun illa Rasulun. It was after the death of Nabiyina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah said, Wama Muhammad, that Muhammad that you are seeing, illa Rasulun. He was just a messenger. According in the past, majority of prophets, majority of messengers, they came before him. After it matter, if we have now killed or we seize the soul of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you people now say you are not going to be Islam again. That was the verse that Abu Bakr heard from the mouth of Umar that made him to believe that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has traveled to the heaven. Allah revealed that verse so that the mind of Abu Bakr can have peace, that sincerely, because Abu Bakr never believed that Nabi Muhammad has died, despite seeing his dead body. So it was this verse, and that was where Allah now said, Wama Muhammadun sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Bring any other surah, bring any other verse in the Holy Quran that Allah called Muhammad direct. So we should honor our malams. So Allah said, Ya you are Nabiyyu, oh you my prophet, is that Tolaqtumun nisaa, whenever you want to divorce your woman, Fatolikunna li iddatihinna, divorce them based on the waiting period that they need to observe in your home. Wa asul iddata, and ensure that the waiting period is completed. Wataqullaha rabbakum, and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is your Lord. Allah is telling Muhammad like this. You know, he's indirectly warning him that don't mishandle, don't mismanage your what? Your women. Brothers, how are we treating our women? Do you think it's just to buy Ankara and lace and guinea brocade for them? You getting married is an ibadah. That is why Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, any adult that has grown up to the age of puberty, that has attained adolescence, that he needs to marry, and he doesn't have provision to marry, he should what? He should continue to be fasting so that he can hold his chastity. And if you get married, it's nisful iman. that you are even attained age of getting married and you have not married, your Islam is yet to be completed. It's yet to be completed. No matter what you are doing, your Islam has not been completed, and you should not die like that. It's better you get married and fulfill all the obligations of Islam, so that whenever you die, you return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and tell you, I perfected all the sunnah and the wajibat. So, getting married is not just for sexual enjoyment or sexual enhancement. It's an ibadah. So that is why, before you go to the level of saying that I want to divorce you, there must be a lot of things. You must have watered the ground before you can get to the end of where there is no more water. You must have exhausted all your patience. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reveal a whole chapter after some verses, do you think Allah has time to man khalaqta hadha batila? Allah doesn't have time to be playing around. He has lots of activities. So for Allah to have revealed a whole chapter in the Holy Quran concerning what? Divorce in Islam. So it's not a joking matter. So Allah told Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you want to divorce any of your women among your women, you should divorce them the way may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed. And what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribe to us? We are going to mention it. Allah now told Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Wattaqullaha rabbakum." Wattaqullaha. Fear Allah. Allah did not stop there. Allah, everybody knows that Allah is our Lord. Rabbakum, your Lord. Allah mentioned it again. Wattaqullaha rabbakum. Consider Allah is serious with it. So, brother, you should be very, very careful with our hunger, with our impatience, before we pronounce that I'm no more interested in this relationship. That is why majority of our parents, those of us that we are being born in the year 2020 something, that we have alien parents, majority of them will never see them leaving their children, even if they have disputes with their husbands. They say, I need to sit down with my children. Whatever I'm going to suffer here today, Allah is going to kudos my effort through my children tomorrow. Now, Shebi, all of you, the wife you are marrying, are they not copying the white? Are they not copying the Israelis? And they are now, don't first say, yes, you have BSc, me too, I have MSc. Your wife will be telling you she has master's. Shebi, you is only 4th degree you have. You can't tell me anything. And the local woman in the village that you go and bring to the city and train her, that even whenever she wants to give you food, she will even be asking Allah, Allah, bless me, bless my husband. She even almost kneel down for you. He said that one will do you better than what you. And the one that you marry where you marry at the time of the way, you don't see how she turn your life upside down for you. I want to marry the one that will fix society. Yes, and you marry that, she turn your life to Jahannama for you. You will marry some woman, or you marry some woman, if you give her 500 naira, every time she will be asking Al-Jannah for you, just 500 naira, and you give this one, you give them 500 million, you say that one generation, is that what your maker giving their wife? And even your mother, you have not given her 250 naira. The woman that you sent to Hajj, the Hajj that you have not even sent your mother that gave birth to you, the woman that you went and bring from somewhere, that you marry her, that you marry her, that you send her to her, you struggle, you send her to her, she'll be telling you Bakabani couldn't gold back, that you didn't give her money to buy gold. Hajj, that many malams are asking Allah every day that soon as you come Quran, every day reciting Quran, Allah jere yana mi Makkah, Allah niro. The time I tell Adua every day, Allah, let me get somebody to sponsor me. Malam that is talking to Allah direct. And this one that is not even praying, that is say, okay, let me send you to Hajj, maybe Allah will change your life. She be comparing her status with the status of those that can buy her and buy her husband. So you to be able to manage her, that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see in you as a man. Allah said, whenever you now finish your contract, because marriage is a contract, when you finish the contract and contract now became terminated on transit, You didn't complete the contract. And brother, do you know what is a contract? It's an agreement between both parties that is written, that is signed, that is agreed upon, and that is stamped and sealed and delivered. That is what a contract is. Even from the point of Islamic point of view, that is a contract. A mutual consensus between two parties. Agreed, approved, they stamp, you stamp it, and you deliver. That yes, the delivery of the contract is the one that you brought home, that your both parents that they agreed upon, and you brought her home. That is the delivery of your contract. So how do you want to manage the sustainability of that contract? That is when your ibadah comes in. That is where your level of taqwa comes in. That is when your level of iman comes in. That's when we're now going to know that you are a man. There is no woman that will not behave like a woman. I'm going to tell you what they did for Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So majority that are observing their salawat, morning, afternoon, evening, midnight, every day, and things are not getting better. Some is because of your lack of being patient enough with your wife. There are some women, as soon as you disengage them with your frivolity, as soon as you send them away, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will close the door of His rahmah upon you. Because Allah deliberately sent that to you, to be tormenting you, so that I want you yourself, I want you to be closer to me. As far as it's not leading to termination of your life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تُخْرِجُوهُنَّ. These women, don't send them away. مِنْ بُيُوتِهِنَّ. Don't send them away from your home. وَلَا يَخْرُجْنَ إِلَّا أَنْ يَأْتِينَ بِفَاحِشَةٍ مُبَيِّنَةٍ. You can only send them away if the atrocities they are committing is what? It's very obvious. Maybe it has a woman's nature. Otidi enigini alagele. Oti nrile kuri káàkiri, oti ṣe sìná. Dumace den ta fara ko mata na gida, uwar gida ko waye ne ita. In ta fara zina, she will send the husband to an early grave. So that one, you don't need to even call any arbitrator. You don't need even to call any mufti. You don't need to call any grand kadi. Send her away. As far as you have your hujjah. Allah said don't send them packing except you have a vital evidence against them that they have social vices around them. In some Yoruba lands, we have some women. Oko come board. Mutane Ilorin, they know them very well. Oko come board. Za su ce muji ɗaya arzikinsa bai zai cika comfort guda ɗaya ba, indicating that one husband that they have is not enough for them, so they need to have 1, 2, 3 husbands, so that they collect from Mr. A, collect from Mr. B, collect from Mr. C. If they collect the post office, they go to Maraba, they go to Airport and collect and bring. That's the way some of them are living their life. If you discover that your life is like this, there are some in Yoruba land, they call them those that doesn't care about their husband. They have a society, they say, what will our husband do? We can do and undo. What will our husband do? You see them bleaching, you see them jumping from one place to another. They don't care about their husbands. If your wife unfortunately becomes one of their victims or belongs to one of that society, send her packing. As far as you have your hujjah. Allah said that before you send them away, illa an yatina bifahishatin mubayyinah. You can only send them away if the evil she is perpetrating or they are perpetrating is what? Mubayyinah. Bayan. Tabayyan. What is obvious, what is glaring. So imma tanka gida, your wife, she doesn't know how to sleep, you are not enjoying her. The satisfaction you desire, you are not getting it. Don't go and be telling your brother, don't go and be telling your wife. Any woman or husband that discuss her sexual life with any other third person, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you will not see my mercy on the day of Qiyamah.
know you are a kind of person that in the next 1 hour the turgidity in you is still there, but your wife after 1 minute you just sleep like a dead carcass, go and marry another one. These are some of the conditions that we can disengage a woman. We are coming there, inshallah. The vices that are obvious that people can see, that Malam Zakari, your wife, ina gani patana shiga wani gidan Malam Balare bifa. Your wife is entering Mr. Kayode's house. Anytime you go to work, your wife should go to Mr. Solomon's house. Your wife, we used to see her at this party. You know, all these ones are obvious. People are seeing it. They are calling your attention to it. If she's going to bring filthy, dirtiness, disregard, pollution to your life, all these are part of what? Mubayyina. You send her away. But the ones that are hidden, la tuzaku anfusakum wa la taziru waziratan wizra ukhra. Whatever is hidden, you don't expose it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has made it hidden, He knows the reason why He made it hidden. But the ones that are obvious, Allah has said it. وَلَا تَنْسَوْا الْفَضْلَ بَيْنَكُمْ. Allah said, don't forget the honor, the opportunity, the benevolence that is in between you. Those of you that you are married, but you are not enjoying them. Allah said, don't forget. The fadl here is the children that have come out from you. Look at the children. That if I send their mother away now, these children will become wayward. They will be perpetrating nefarious activities. Majority of the children that you see on the road now, that they turn to waifs or they turn to road wafers, right? It's because they lack parental care. The father and the mother, they are even parenting the children. Have they gotten success on the children already? The both parents are jointly training the children. What the children will become, maybe it is when the children are under them, that is when they will be able to see the left and right of the child or of the children. As soon as the children leave their environment, maybe they go to higher schools, that they can't stay with their parents again. Do you know what they are doing there? So why both of you are together struggling to manage these children, to bring them, give them good education, give them good tarbiyah, right? You should endeavor to be tolerant to each other. So that the fadl, the children Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, la tansa, you should not forget them, so that these children will not become nuisance in the society. Allah is saying all this to encourage we, the men, to be what? To be more patient. Wala tansaw fadla bainakum. Don't forget the children that I've given you people. Inna Allah bima ta'maluna basir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, basirun bima ta'malun. I'm very obvious, my sight captures all what you are doing. So there is nothing you can do hidden without my knowledge. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive every one of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive every one of us. In conclusion of that verse, Allah said, وَتِلْكَ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ. These are the boundary limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That you must be patient, you must be tolerant. That وَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ. Whoever crossed the boundary limit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَقَدْ ظَلَمَ نَفْسَهُ. That person has wronged himself. You didn't wrong Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَا تَدْرِي. No one knows. لَا اللَّهُ يُحْدِثُ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ أَمْرًا. The event that will become unfolded after you might have disengaged this woman. Nobody knows. Maybe there is a blessing, there is a light behind the tunnel. Maybe there is a blessing that is coming after all your turmoil, after all your lack of being patient. Maybe there is a blessing that is coming. You see some people, after they might have fought, Mr. A, Mr. B, family A, family B, they have come in between them to do reconciliation for them, right? After that, maybe after 1 year, you see the man will impregnate his woman. If you have sent her away, where will she bring that pregnancy? And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to show his mercy, you now give beyond you and Yahuku. People will now be laughing at her, you and Olaosebikan. I will not see jajaja. Allah is saying, لَعَلَى اللَّهُ يُحْدِثُ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ أَمْرًا. If you people are patient with each other, you don't know the benevolence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has for you, like behind the scene. So being patient with our women is very, very essential, and we should have a good cordial relationship with them to avoid getting divorced. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive every one of us. I think with some of these verses, we get it clear. Divorce is not something that we should rush into. 95% of our Muslim brothers, they used to hasten up in divorce. Maybe he has seen one talatu. Maybe he has seen one iyabo somewhere. And you are the one that you abuse your wife, that you have turned out to dustbin. Any woman, any man that has a wife at home and they are not seeing the honor of the work you are doing in your wife, the reflection of the blessing of your work that you are doing, they are not seeing it in your wife, you are not a responsible man. They are not seeing your wife like a rag. Even you, before you are able to allow her to go to the society, to her family's activity, you be saying, Kai, your physique is not good. Don't leave her. You are not a responsible man. So our wife must be presentable. For you to be maintaining her, or for us to be maintaining them, that means you have to do extracurricular activities or be patient to avoid divorce. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive every one of us and hold firm our family for us. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabiyyi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallim taslima. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May He accept this as an act of ibadah. He that has sent Nabiyuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the last prophet and the seal of all the prophets. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this khutbah and our intended prayer as an act of ibadah from us. Hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala, the son of Umar ibn Khattab. Umar ibn Khattab was a companion, was a Saheed. His son was also a what? A Saheed. Just like having a father as an engineer. Does that become a blockade for his son or his daughter to become an engineer? Or for his son to become an engineer? So also, you can see a man who has attained the apex level of law, of legal practice, that has a son, senior advocate of Nigeria. We can have him and also have his own son as a son as well. You see a father as a professor in medicine. You see a son as a professor in medicine. Did any one of them interpolate on each other? Everybody has his own level and has his own destiny. وَمَا مِنَّا إِلَّا لَهُ مَقَامٌ مَعْلُومٌ. Nobody will cross any other person's path as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has designed it for us. So Abdullah ibn Umar was a Sahabi, was a companion of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And his father was also a what? A companion. So it will get to a stage that a gathering might join you and your father together, and you even sit down in the same circle. You might go to a gathering that even you will be sitting in the front row and your father will be sitting in the third row. They will now be showing that is the son of so person and see where the father is sitting at the back bench. Who did that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Abdullah ibn Umar, one very day, he disengaged his wife while she was in a menstrual state. Because we have particular period that we can divorce our women. So Abdullah ibn Umar now divorced his wife. So his father, Umar ibn Khattab, now ran to Nabiyuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Salaam alaikum ya Amirul Mu'minin. Salaam alaikum ya Rasulullah. He greeted Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He now told him that your son is referring to Abdullah ibn Umar. He's telling Nabiyuna Muhammad that your son, as honor. Nabiyuna Muhammad knows the number of his children now. But Umar was referring to his own son as the son of whom? As the son of Nabiyuna Muhammad. Now say, our master, your son Abdullah ibn Umar, he divorced his wife. And the wife was in a state of what? Menstruation. So Nabiyuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam now said, Muri'u, go and command him, go and instruct him now. for him to accept her back. He has divorced her. She has left his house. Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam now instructed Umar to go and tell his son Abdullah ibn Umar that Abdullah ibn Umar should call back his wife to come back to his house until the woman becomes pure. She should come and finish her menstrual what? Her menstrual cycle in Abdullah ibn Umar's house. So Matahidu, she will now observe another period in Abdullah Umar's house. So Matati she will become pure. And that will be the second what? The second menstrual cycle. So she will come back and come and observe her what? Her menstrual period. She will become clean after completion of that cycle. She will observe another menstrual period in Abdullah's house. She will become clean. She will observe another one, making 3 what? 3 periods. So after observing these 3 periods in Abdullah's house, inshallah, after the completion of these 3 menstrual periods, if Abdullah ibn Umar is interested, sick, he should continue with the marital vows. He should take her back. Wa inshallah, Tolaq. And if he's not more interested, he should release her to go. But she must have done what? She must have completed her 3 menstrual cycles. And that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Quran. That salasatil Qur'in. 3 cycles. And what is Qur'u? Qur'u is not months. That people will say the woman must observe 3 months to do her At-Tolaq, a waiting period before she disengages from her husband. It's not month, it's menstrual cycle. And this salasatul Qur'in has 2 definitions, has 2 meanings. Al-Qari'u, this is verse of Quran. Al-Qari'u, that Allah says salasatul Qur'u, this woman must observe 3. Any woman, not only Abdullah ibn Umar's wife. Or let me finish this hadith before we now start explaining Qur'an. That after the completion of her 3 menstrual cycles, if Abdullah ibn Umar is still interested, he should what? He should hold on to her. Wa insha, and if he's not more interested, Tolaq, he should disengage her. Qabla an yamassa, before he touches her again. Brothers, we are coming here. If you know you want to disengage your wife, your legally married wife, if you know you want to disengage her, after completing her 3 menstrual cycles, you must not touch her again before you send her packing. If you touch her, you have done Rajab. You have taken her back again as a wife. I'm going to tell us 4 conditions that you must not get tantamount to, not talk of crossing it, when you are disengaging a woman, when you are divorcing a woman. So Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Umar ibn Khattab to go and tell his son that your wife, the son of your wife, should be recalled back. She should observe her menstrual cycle. You know, Umar told Nabiuna Muhammad that she was in her menstrual state, right? Before his son Abdullah sent her packing. Go and call her back. Let her come and complete that menstrual period. She will now clean up. That one is finished. She will now observe another one. She will clean up. That one will finish. Making how many? Making 2. Right? She will now observe another menstrual cycle. Making 3 menstrual cycles in his house. So after completing this At-Tolaq, after completing these 3 cycles, which is not 3 months, because there are some women, the interval between their menstruation is just 20 days. There are some is 25 days. There are some is 30 days. It depends on individual body chemistry. The menstrual cycle of each woman quite differ from another woman. They don't have the same cycles, the same number of days. Even there are some women, their menstrual, the days of their menstrual period, some of them are 3. some are 5, some are 7, and that's how it keeps coming consecutively. And anyone, if a woman menstrual period exceeds the normal days that she used to observe, and after studying it, she discovered that this thing is beyond the normal day, that one has become istihada. That one is no more what? It's not more menstruation. The one they used to call awoda. The blood that keeps flowing without ceasing, and is different from nifas. So, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam now said that if he is interested, he should take her back. If he is not interested, he should not take her back. But he must not touch her. Qabla an yatamassa. Qabla an yamassaha. Before touching her. He must not touch her after she completes her what? Her period. Fatilka iddatul lati amara Allah in talaqa nisa. This is the condition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed on us whenever we intend to do what? To divorce any woman. So as soon as you have pronounced that you are no more interested in this woman, right? She must complete her salasatu quru'in. And what is the qadu that I'm talking about? Qadu is, I said it has 2 meanings. Some fuqaha, some Islamic jurists, they said al-qadu means the first day that a woman start her what? Start her menstrual period. So if she complete this, maybe she starts today, February 2nd, and she's going to observe it for another 5 days. She'll be riding up maybe on the 7th or on the 8th, right? Let's assume she'll be riding up on the 8th. And the period she used to finish and commence another one used to be maybe 20 or 25 days. So 8 plus 25. That is 33. So probably on the 4th or on the 5th of March, she will start another one, right? So the first day she started here, which is on the 2nd of February, that is al-Qadhu. The second Qadhu will be on the 4th of what? On the 4th of March. Maybe plus another 25 days. 4 plus 25, that is 29. So she's going to start another one on the 29th of March. You can see reason why we are not going to use months. You can see now she's starting 2 what? 2 menstrual periods in the same March. She started one on the 4th, and after 25 days, she started another one on the what? On the 29th. So she has completed the 3 qadhu. Salasatu quru'in is in Surah Al-Baqarah. Are we getting it? These are the number of days that we need to count for a woman that you divorce, that she must stay in your house. Some fuqaha, some jurists now said no. That salasatu quru'in, the qadhu that we are referring to, is the very day that she completes her cycle. That, oh, I have to observe my cycle for 5 days. Okay, today is the last day. And the following day she observed, the blood is not more flowing as she cleans up. Right? That is the qadhu. Every time she finish her what? She finish her menstrual period. The very day she finish, that is the day we are going to count. So if she finishes on the February 2nd, we count another 25 days for her. Right? That will be 25 plus 5. That will be 30. And we don't have 30 days. That will be 2nd of March. This month might be either 28 or 29. So she will start on the 4th of March. Right? She will finish on the 5th or on the 6th. The day she finished is the 2nd qadhu. The 3rd qadhu will be the day that she finished the 3rd menstrual period. These are the 3 qadhu according to another set of Islamic jurists. I hope you understand. So if you are counting a waiting period for a woman that we have divorced, we don't use month the way we can use month for iddatul wafat. And iddatul wafat is the mourning period for a woman, for a widow. That one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already mentioned in the Holy Quran. That one is 120 days. It's there. Everything is in Surah Al-Baqarah. For a woman that lost her husband, she has to pass 220 days for the mourning period. that one is already stipulated and nothing can change it. But that of At-Tolaq, waiting period for a divorced woman, it depends on her what? Her menstrual cycle. So if she is going to adopt the first day, counting from the first day, that means she's going to count 3 first days of her menstrual period. As soon as she completes it, she will leave. So this waiting period for these 3 months, she will be inside this house. What will she be doing? You must not touch her. She must stay inside your house. Nothing must happen. If anything happen, peradventure, in the midnight, you don't see anybody you want to touch, and you now want to look for her, and you touch her, and anything happen, that divorce that you have pronounced has become null and void. That divorce is what? Has become null and void. So that 3 circles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encourages them to stay within our homes, within our abodes, within our precinct, is for us to change our mind if reconciliation will happen, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants it to what? To happen. There is an hadith, but there is a misconception about it. Maybe it's Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that said it, or Umar bin Khattab, that Abgadul Alali in the Allahi At-Tolaq, that something that is good, but Allah despised it. It's good that we should do it, but Allah doesn't like it, is divorce. I can't confirm to us either the authenticity, but it is affiliated to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or Umar bin Khattab. Wallahu ta'ala alam. What we should do to make life habitable for us, to make life comfortable for us, if we have used all the parameters we need to use, we can later resort to Tolaq. But what are the steps to Tolaq? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, gave us the scripture as we have read unto us some of the verses, which I will encourage every one of us to also find out more in the Holy Quran. Reasons for us to divorce, if we need to divorce. Number 1, if the love between you and your wife has expired. وَكُلُّ جَدِيدٍ مَا يَقُولُ إِلَى الْبِلَادِ وَكُلُّ إِمْرِئٍ يَسِيرُ إِلَى كَانَ. كُلُّ جَدِيدٍ, every new thing, يَسِيرُ إِلَى الْبِلَادِ, it will definitely get hold. So the love that you have or that you have had with your wife, when she comes under your roof, the love will be gradually getting disintegrated. It will be depreciating gradually. It is the level of iman that will keep sustaining you. Because the time that you are cutting, a lot of things will be hidden for you that you will not know. Until when she comes under your roof, that you will not be seeing it, that, Achezuera, you have this kind of character. Ambara, I don't know that you are this kind of a man. I wouldn't have married you. But the fadl, as we have interpreted, the fadl, the children that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, you will now be using those children to console yourself and keep that woman, so that you won't have a broken home. So if love expires, that there is no way out, you just don't want her again, lillahi wa rasuli, you have to go for divorce. Expiation of what? Of love. Number 2, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that the reason for us to divorce is if we are under a bondage of law. Maybe in an environment you find yourself, this is the condition they place on you that you must observe for you to keep your wife. And it's not the condition from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a better reason for you to discharge that woman. 2 of you are inside the same house, but you are not having any communication. You are just living an animalistic life. No usinul mubashara, no muamalat between you and your wife. It's better you release her to go. except if you have a law that has binded you, which is not the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which can be broken. If you observe or you adhere or you follow any law that is not the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's more or less as if you have put yourself inside the bondage. Number 3, lack of social interaction. You are in the same house with your wife that you legally married, but number 1 has happened. There are no more love. Even you are not considering our children any longer. You are just pissed off in totality. You don't have any meeting point. It's better for you to do what? To allow her to go. So these are the reasons that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had given us for us to relieve ourselves from the stress and from the bondage we have put ourselves under. Those are some of the conditions. Now, as a man, we have mentioned the reasons that we must divorce. Now, conditions for divorce. Conditions that we must observe before divorcing each other. Number 1, a man that doesn't have wife cannot divorce. So a man that will pronounce that I'm divorcing you must be a man that has legally married a woman as a wife. Let's say for instance, the way some youths used to do, and some that have done it in the past. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive every one of us. You saw a girl, you are dating her, and you are doing all the shenanigans together. You are sleeping with her, you are doing a lot of nonsenses. Right? After some time, you had misunderstanding. You now said, I'm not marrying you again. Have you married her before? I'm divorcing you. Have you married her before? Who gave her to you? So, for us to establish that a marriage is valid, we must see the husband who legally married her, and he must be the one that will give the consent that I'm no more interested. We get to a point, inshallah, that we see that in the absence of the husband, his wife can be divorced on his behalf. There is something in fiqh we call al-wakala wa risala. Even your father can help you to divorce your wife. We'll get there, inshallah. So, part of the conditions that must be fulfilled, that must be observed before we divorce any woman, the husband must be available in the sense that he must be the one that married her and gives the go-ahead that I'm no more interested in this woman, let her go. So all the boyfriendism, girlfriendism of a thing is nonsense. So that is not marriage. It's for us to even see two of you and catch and drug you people. Say, Omashade, mi ò fẹ́ mọ́. That's where Rabbi, no. That is part of the societal vices. Number 2, the marriage that we can dissolve. The marriage that we can say this marriage, the husband can divorce his wife, is a marriage that at the beginning of the marriage life, there was a dowry that was paid. Any marriage that the dowry, the mahar, was not paid, whatever they are sharing together, whatever they are doing together is zina. Any children that is being produced from that marriage, they are bastards. We call them waladu zina. And by Islamic law, they are not supposed to bear your name. They should bear the name of their mother. I'm going to bring evidences for us when we'll be talking about DNA in Islam and science of fruit reading. After this discussion, inshallah, where we can affiliate a child to his mother, because Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Al-waladu lil firash." So any marriage that doesn't have mahar, doesn't have sadaki, doesn't have dowry, right? Whatever they use to separate them is not welcome in Islam. That is not a divorce. That's not a Tolaq. Number 3, the divorce statement will come in 2 forms. It can be vocal, it can be active, or it can be passive. The husband must be vocal that this my wife, I'm not marrying her again. Or he can communicate it by action, that is passive. All those ones that, I don't know, maybe they used to do it in the north. But it's very common in the Yoruba land that they will say, abandon her here, party government fulonje. Abandon her here. They will ask you to keep the woman that you are not interested in again. Abandon her. Tó bá sú yóò kọ ẹrù rẹ̀ yóò mọ lọ. It's very common in Yoruba land. It's not good, and we should not continue doing it. If you are fed up with a woman, you speak to her. If you can't speak to her, you use some actions to relieve her. It's a duty and services that she is rendering to you. So, the statement of divorce should be communicated. If not communicated, it has to be what? It has to be pronounced by action, body language. And if sensible she is, we discover, we determine that my husband is no more interested in me, I need to go. She will leave. We can use this type of action to divorce a woman. Number 4, the statement of Tolaq must come out from your heart, not just from your tongue. Because there are some people, they will pronounce something, but it's not deeply rooted from their heart. You see some people when they say, I'm no more interested in my wife. And in some family, you have some Margaret Thatcher. You know those who used to call Margaret Thatcher? Maybe one of your elder sister, one woman your elder, no, everybody used to be scared of her. Magaje Mata. In the family, that she can face anybody. She can talk to anybody like a tiger in the family. That's why we say, Hamza, talk about the combo for your. We used to have those kind of women in the family. If situation like this now happen, that you pronounce it from the tongue, from your tongue, but deeply inside you, you didn't say it. And this woman now come around and now say, Kasali said we should send you away. You are not telling them that, no, Auntie Sulia, I just said it with my tongue. I didn't say it from my heart. I hope you are getting it. If you want to divorce your wife, the intention must be rooted out from your mind convincingly, and it must be pronounced with your what? With your tongue. If it is not rooted from your heart, you just said it. Maybe you just want to use it to scare your wife, to re-strategize her, to set her brain to correct, to proper alignment. You just said it. If it is not in your heart, we will not observe that as what? As divorce. Are you following me? These are the 4 conditions that we must observe before we can now pronounce a marriage. Number 1, the husband that owns the wife. Despite the fact that I said even your father can help you to divorce your wife, but you yourself, you must be the initiator. So the husband must be the one that will divorce his wife. Number 2, there must be marriage that we want to dissolve. The marriage that the husband, he say, I'm no more interested in this marriage. The marriage must be a marriage that is legally binded. With what? With sadaki and or dowry or mahar. Number 3, it must be pronounced either passively or actively. Either you say it, you pronounce it out, or by your body language. You say, this woman, I'm not interested in you again. You know, we have some people, even we have some bosses, we have some of our masters. Any day they use red biro. You know the meaning of red biro. Any day they pick green biro. If you master them very well, you know their attitude. Some of them, body language, if they look at the left twice, they look at the left twice, you are in front of them, they look at the left twice, you know there is danger. Any day your boss laugh, maybe someone is like Pharaoh. Any day he laugh, maybe you are going to Al-Jannah that day. Maybe that's the day you are going to get your promotion after 4 or 5 years. You know. So there are some actions. Ishara, that is what ishara. Action. There are some body action, body language that you don't need to speak out, that you can use to communicate to your wife that this marriage is over. That is number 3. Number 4, the statement of divorce must deeply be rooted out from your heart, not from your tongue. Because there are some things you say with your mouth, but inside you, they are not like that. Especially see all these politicians. Somebody will be in PDP and be collecting money from APC. So any one of you that you are doing that you are hearing from Saheed and you are going to tell Mubarak, Muzabzabina Bena Zalik. You know where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised the kind of you is Dari min asfalin nar. The lowest part, the bottomest part of the hellfire, that's where you are going to belong to. So whatever you want to say must be deeply rooted out from your what? From your heart. These are the 4 conditions. Because of our time, we continue from the next point next week, inshallah. And where are we going to continue from? Types of divorce in Islam. And I've told us we have 2 types of divorce in Islam. Number 1 is the sunnatic divorce. Number 2 is the bid'i, the innovative divorce. The bid'ah divorce that we used to do. And which type of divorce do we call divorce? Innovative divorce. Inshallah, we are going to discuss it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive everyone of us. Inna Allah ya'murukum bil adli wal ihsan wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkar wal baghi ya'izukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging every one of us to do good. The goodness that we need to do, every one of us knows. Wal ihsan, adlu means to be just in whatever we are doing. Al ihsan is to do good. And ta'budallaha ka'annaka tarahu wa in lam takun tarahu fa innahu yaraka. Let us do good. Our Muslim brothers that have been persecuted in Palestine, if you can't do anything, you can't go there and go and fight. We don't have means of sending them relief, right? Putting them in prayer every day is also what? Is an ihsan. Those of you in authority, to help the junior ones under you, to come up, to grow, to promote them, is an ihsan. And ihsan is for you to do it as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing you. If anybody is not even seeing you, anybody is not appreciating you, allow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to appreciate you. Those of you that you didn't allow people to grow under you, you are denying them promotion, you are writing every nasty things about them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is waiting for you. And you know, whatever you do today, inna rabbaka labil mirsad. Whatever you do for another person today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing tomorrow for your own children too. They will reap from the fruit of your labor. When it is in Qurba, our family members, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us to do good. Let every one of us remember our family members. You don't know when you will need them. وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging every one of us from social vices, hypocrisy, zalunchi, makirchi, all those chi that are not relevant to what Islam has brought onto us. Allah said we should go away from them. Munafrichi, animanchi, all these. Allah said we should distance ourselves away from them. Allah said we are calling every one of you if you are ready to heed to the call. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let every one of us heed to the call. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us of our shortcomings. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us al-Jannah to Firdaus. I thought I would be able to discuss concerning one particular journalist called Hamid Al-Ma'ruzi. He's a journalist working with the present United Arab Emirates president. I saw it last week that he sent a message to Saudi Arabia king and the crown prince that they should pay the Jews, the Israelis, they should pay them the damages that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam caused for them. The expulsion of the Jews when Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered Medina. he signed a treaty, an agreement with the Jews of Medina. And he met 3 particular group of Jews in Medina. Number 1, Banu Kainuka. Number 2, Banu Nadir. Number 3, Banu Qurayza. These are the 3 principal tribes of Yahudis, the Jews that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam met in Medina. And he had an agreement with them. All of them, they betrayed the agreement. And Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam need to fight them. And he sent them away. Based on their treachery, based on their treason towards assassination of Nabi Muhammad. Every one of them, they did a particular thing for Nabi Muhammad before sending them out. Banu Kainuka, they were sent out after Ghazwatul Badr. Banu Nadir, they were sent out after Ghazwatul Uhud. Banu Qurayza, they were sent away after the battle of Kandahar. And the battle of Kandahar never happened. It was wind that sent them away. So this guy now wrote to Saudi Arabia that for Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who met the Jews in Medina, to have sent them away, that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is unjust to them, that the Saudi Arabia government should come and pay ransom or whatever. Compensation. Thank you, sir. Compensation to whom? To the Israelis, to the Jews. When I saw this, and I said, what is this? It's part of the Alamatu Akhiru Sa'a, part of the end time. And already I have a discussion I want to discuss Jewish life under Islam. And a book was written by a Jew himself, Amnon Cohen, who wrote the enjoyment that the Jews enjoyed under the umbrella of Islam. I told us about Professor Ilan Pape. He was also a Jew. It's because of the research that he was doing concerning what the Israelis are doing. This Professor Ilan Pape is an Israeli, but he had to run away. He's a researcher. He had to run away from Israel. He's residing in UK up to today. He hasn't died. So I was thinking about talking about the Jewish life, because the issue of this Palestine is very interesting. I've read so much about them, I follow a lot of things about them, and I want to share with us. Before I now saw this, which I have here with me.